This is a 300-hour Laya Yoga and Meditation teacher training. We're going to go through everything about the Laya training. It's quite special in the sense that although it does have the Hatha Yoga aspect to it, it really emphasizes the Kriya Yoga. And we'll talk about what Kriya is. I think it's relatively new for a lot of people, unless you're part of the Kundalini world. That's what they focus on, is a lot of Kriyas. And the whole purpose of the Laya, which is very similar to Kundalini, is that it takes you into a very concentrated, absorbed state of consciousness. It takes you to enlightenment through the body. This training, there's many aspects to it. So there's meditation, there are Kriyas, there's yoga, and a lot more of the things that I offer here at the Lotus Center. All of my programs are all about you attaining the highest state of consciousness, and this program is designed for that as well. We call it Laya because it works on the energy system. So where a person normally leaks a lot of energy, we're learning how to transmute that energy so that you become a more empowered and powerful energetically in your body and in your relationships, in your work world, everywhere. So you transmute your depleted energy levels to a highly focused point of concentration and personal power. True freedom is around the corner. This training will help you. There are many paths to freedom, and even in yoga, they have many, many paths. It comes down to you yourself are a path to freedom. It's always helpful to have support along your path, and this is another tool for you. So this is open to anyone interested in developing the deep, practical, and scientific approach to yoga and meditation. This program is for you if you are a regular practicing yogi or meditator, but feel you want a deeper and more challenging practice. Maybe you already are practicing, but you want to get a strong daily practice going, and you're missing the inspiration and the guidance. So this will be helpful for that. Maybe you're facing stuff in your life and you need energy. Well, that's what this training is all about, is building your physical energy, your physical, psychic, spiritual energy to blast through what you are facing as obstacles in your life. So we need energy to work with the onslaught of our daily life. Blast through your limitations and restrictions to make that big leap into samadhi, the super state of consciousness. So you're going to learn in this webinar, Laya Yoga, what inspired me to introduce the Laya Yoga lifestyle, what the program entails, what is Laya Yoga. Laya Yoga is focused mostly on the chakras. So if you're already familiar with the chakra system, then you're going to learn about the chakras in a different way, the yogic way. And it's about how you can use your chakras and open your chakras yourself through specific practices. Who is the originator of Laya Yoga? Sage Gorakhnath, many centuries ago. Laya Yoga channelizes Kundalini energy, and the word channelizes means that Kundalini is dormant inside of us, waiting to be wakened up. And many things can awaken the Kundalini, sometimes bad things or traumatic things, but the yogis want to awaken the Kundalini in a more practical, systematic way that is controllable. And that's what we'll find through Laya Yoga. It's a path of enlightenment through the body, using the body. Kriyas are using body actions, breathing, pranayama, mudras, visualizations. These are all types of kriyas. When they're worked together in combinations and proper systematic ways and repetitions of them, there's a certain thing that cracks open stuck channels, and it opens and lets things flow more. The great thing about the Laya Yoga practice is that it's another way of dissolving karmic patterns. I think we all need to work on that because we are stuck as human beings. What holds us back from complete freedom and the vision of oneness is our past, our karmas. And so we can blast through them energetically. The Kundalini is activated through performing Kriya practices. Kriyas remove blockages in the body and channel the powerful Kundalini energy when it is unleashed. It's mostly focused on Kriyas, but in our training, we're going to be doing a lot of fun things, some somatic assist and release, and we're doing mudras, and it's a lot of interesting, fun things. Opening the chakras balances emotional and mental health for spiritual development. And Shakti and Shiv unite the male, female, the polarities in our life. Well, that's what yoga does. It brings those two polarities, and as they come together like that, it opens up into that vision of oneness. It's a physical experience energetically as the Kundalini moves through our body. And to go deeper into the Laya Yoga practices as a lifelong practice, you do need to have a teacher, because we are working with the fire. When it awakens, things happen. Your world starts to rock. So what inspired me? Well, as you can see here, I have a teacher, and I've had a teacher. My teacher here is now not alive anymore. He's in the other world. But I've spent many, many years with my guru living in India. India is full of all kinds of paths to freedom. And my main path was Gyan Yoga, which is knowledge. So it's a lot of discussion and understanding through the intellect. But, I was trained as a dancer, and that attracted me to the Hatha Yoga world. What I love about that is the energy of it. So now it's a combination of like all of these yogas that I've explored in my life. The Kriya Yoga is something that's really fascinating me, and I think it's the thing that's going to bring the whole thing together. Okay, my story. Well, I was young when I started the yoga world. I was 15 and started meditating at 17, and I went to India when I was 20. I stayed there for 17 years, and I came back when I was 37. And I started up the Lotus Center in 2000. When I was there in the Kulu, Himachal Pradesh, India, at the International Meditation Institute, I studied meditation, scriptures, chanting, public speaking, and yoga. I'm one of those people that was thirsty for truth from a very young age. So finally, I left India after feeling very, very full to my cup, and I felt like I needed to start talking what I know. And so I knew that I was somewhat of a leader or a teacher. So I came back and opened up the Lotus Center in 2000. When I arrived back, I did more training in mind clearing and enlightenment mastery work. Now, the difficulty that I had when I came back from India was that sadhana or spiritual practice, my spiritual practice was in a container of a whole bunch of other people practicing. So I was supported, and I had a teacher that I could always just run to and ask questions. But when I came back here, I didn't have any of that. I had to start my own community. And the difficulty was that, it was a lifestyle for me. And now coming back and making it into a profession or a work, that's very difficult for me to bridge those two worlds. And it's been 21 years of trying to find a way to do that. So I feel like my community is more like an ashram kind of space where people come for life. Anybody who comes through me, I'll always be a support for them, because that's just the nature of my commitment to all of us, to my purpose in life. So that was a thing to work with. And my personal practice, when I started taking it into the professional world, I started to lose my personal practice as a separate time, because it became all in the world of the professional. So my yoga practice was when I taught a yoga class. I meditated when I taught meditation, because I was doing so much. I always had a personal practice, but I didn't allow as much time. So there's been a shift personally in my life after 20 years of teaching, that I feel like there's this strong need for more personal practice. And that's what's coming on for me in terms of the Laya Yoga. Laya Yoga demands a lot of time for personal practice. So once you enter into the world of Laya, it seems to demand a lot more of your personal time. But the thing is, the payback is that you get more empowered through doing it. So my purpose in life is to raise consciousness. This whole Laya path that's opening up for me that I want to share with you, I feel will help all of us get to a new level of attainment in the path of enlightenment. So I want to share this with you. Okay, what is it? What is this program that I'm offering you? It's a program to energize the chakra system using visualizations, concentration techniques, because Laya really means absorption through concentration. It's not just sort of sitting and meditating and then allowing the thoughts to run off. Say you got a 15-minute Kriya. For those 15 minutes, you are 100% concentrated. Mantras, pranayamas, mudras, bandhas, yoga philosophy, bhakti meditations, and a lot more. This program allows you to personally set up a profoundly inspiring and transformational yoga lifestyle practice. And this is my point, is that if you're lacking in your practice and you want some energy, well, this program will definitely get you into that. If you're a teacher or in any field like that, where you're helping others, this will give you the energy personally, but also you will understand a lot more about Kundalini, how it works, and the power behind it, and how to help other people go through the difficulties that they experience in it. So this training has 5 weeks of 5 days, like a Monday to Friday. Now I'm trying this out to see if this method works. I personally believe in the intensive format because this pushes us into our stuff and we have to face it. And then when we have the container of the support, we're able to move through it. Otherwise, if we don't have that container and you're going through stuff that's uncomfortable, we go back to our normal ways of leaking energy and escaping and facing our stuff. So there's something about the intense format. It's like a download. You get downloaded and your system gets flooded with this new way of being. And your practice gets really tight because you are practicing every single day in an intense way. So when you finish the 5 days, you've got 3 weeks to integrate everything you've learned in those 5 days. And then you'll be ready for the next 5 days. Now, that's just the 5-day week trainings, but there's more. I'll get to that in a moment. During your 5 days, we start at 7 in the morning. So it's an intense day, but you do have your evenings free. 7 to 9, we do a Laya Yoga class. We work on spiritual anatomy. Then we do our partner somatic assists. So any parts of your body that needs to be worked on or cleared, it's sort of like massage stuff that we'll be working with each other on. Then we have a free period from 12 to 2. And I think this is important because it's time for you to let go, release, and be ready for the rest of the day. 2 to 3 kriyas, chakras, and traditional 3 to 4 mudras and pranayams. This is kind of the general thing. There'll be a lot of things mixed in with this. 4 to 5 bhakti meditation and mantra, and then practicing your advanced postures that you have chosen to work on. And these weeks will also include some ethics study and surrender meditation. Now, outside of these 5 days, you've got a whole 9 months, as long as you want, as far as I'm concerned, to do this other stuff. So scriptures, Patanjali, you can do 15 of these. The Laya Yoga classes, Mondays and Thursdays, and it can be online or come here in person. There's a non-dual scripture class. That means the other Indian scriptures like the Upanishads, the Yoga Vasishtha, the Bhagavad Gita. We'll sort of touch on each of these scriptures so that you understand that there's 2 sides to the world of scriptures. One is a science, which is more dual, and it's all practice. And the other is non-dual, which is all understanding and direct experiences. We'll taste all of that as well. You have access to 15 meditation and satsang sessions, which happen on Wednesdays from 6:30 to 9. Chanting sessions, chanting and meditation. And you've got 10 of those. You have 5 mind clearing sessions with me. The mind clearing sessions are when you have difficulties either with your program or anything going on in your personal life. And that's a great bonus. What will you be doing outside of the 5 weeks and these other things that you can participate in? Here is stuff that's going to keep you going personally. Remember, I was saying that this is all about developing your personal practice. Well, that's what you're going to start doing. And you're going to have to work this out, because if you're like anybody, everybody's got a life and they have no time for meditation and yoga, right? Are you one of those people? Well, you don't have to be. Like, you can really seriously work with your schedule so that you have more time for you. And that's what we're going to work on. So, and I really deeply believe in this. Personal practice is the most important thing. You first, and then you can support and help the rest of the world. But you can't help unless you are energized and connected. So you need to develop or find a way to grow into this many hours, up to 2 or more hours a day doing your practice. There's a Laya Yoga practicum. So you're going to be learning how to teach a Laya Yoga class, and you're going to start having to, teach other people. And that will be part of the practicums. 1 paragraph summaries of the Patanjali classes. So when you attend a Patanjali class, you take notes, you imbibe, you even read scriptures, look at the other scriptures and compare. And then you come up with your understanding of what we did. And I think this is a powerful way of really imbibing, not just listening and letting it go, but this is your second and third time to be able to really understand it. So you understand it so that you could actually teach it. Spiritual anatomy study. Well, this is about the chakra system. This is about the nadis, about the kundalini. We're going to go in depth with this. You're going to have a chakra project and lecture, which means you can choose a specific chakra that you're attracted to or that you're resonating with, and you can do a study in that and then turn it into a project and a lecture for all of us to learn more about that particular chakra. Now, the next one says daily lessons summary. And this is what I did for my training. At the end of the day, I had to send in a couple of sentences that summarizes the main thing that I got in that 1-hour lesson. So you have to come up with 2 sentences or a small paragraph of the nuts and bolts of what that lesson was for you. And this is another way of imbibing and letting it go in. So it gives you a second and third time to be able to take it in and understand it more. Practice your 5 advanced postures. You can start thinking about it now. What postures do you want to master? This is an opportunity now for you to think about, you know what? I'm going to give myself a year to master these poses. And so then it becomes an inspiration, a little challenging for yourself. And it feels really good when you can start to master something that you've always wanted to. And the last one is design a Laya Yoga project. This could be a written essay, a sequence of classes, or a community-based contribution. So that's something we can discuss, and you can think about it in relation to Laya. All right, this journey, this will initiate you, the new student, in traditional and esoteric techniques. So, the normal yoga class that you go to is just on the surface of what is the wealth of knowledge that is available for a person. You'll notice that we just got to get people in the door for these yoga classes that are out there. At least people are coming to yoga. But this is the thing. This is just a door that opens up. I feel my purpose here in this city is to offer more. Behind me, in the tradition that I've been following, there's so much more wealth of knowledge. And I will also be a door. So this training is a door for you to leap out into more study and more training and more evolution and more enlightenment. So everybody's got something to offer. And that's what I feel like I have to offer, is the more the depth of yoga. Right now, it's offered in intensive format. And as I said, it's to provide the spiritual community environment. It would be like living in an ashram. So if you're missing that, or you ever desire to go and do that, you get a taste of that. And the thing is, you build a community, and these people will be with you for as long as you are connected with them. And included in this program, there are several extra courses to complement your once a month week training to keep you inspired throughout the rest of the year. You will experience and master. This is what you are going to experience. Concentration practices that helps to dissolve the ego. It's called Sanyam. You'll be repeating the divine names, and by doing that, that's mantra, you expand your ego. So one is dissolving the ego and the other is expanding. As far as I'm concerned, it's kind of going in the same direction. Nada yoga. And really, this is the art of listening to the subtle sounds, like the sound of Om, as an example. Hand gestures, well, that's mudras, and there's tons of them. And they're powerful when you get more sensitive energetically in your body and your hand goes into a specific mudra, that can channelize the energy even. Body locks, bandhas, 3 main bandhas. We'll be working with those 3 bandhas in different ways. Breathing exercises that lead to the natural suspension of breath, not a forced suspension, but a natural suspension. It's called pranayama. Controlling the left and right nostril channels to encourage prana to flow into the central channel, sushumna. That's called swara yoga. Visualizing chakras and colors and shapes and directions of energy flow. That's called sankalp, which is more using your imagination. Perfecting your physical yoga postures, hatha yoga. And specific design sets of pranayama, mudras, bandhas, mantras, visualizations to activate and channelize Kundalini. So a lot of these things are pulled together into these kriyas. We're also going to be doing a lot of surrender on an energetic level. It's more surrendering and offering ourselves up more. Surrendering the Kundalini Shakti energy as she moves you. That's called bhakti yoga. Knowledge of spiritual anatomy, including chakra and Kundalini research, and channelizing the Kundalini energy. From my experience, it changes. You know, at first it was just kind of like a little bit like that. And if I did lots of deep meditations, it would be kind of moving like that, or my arms might start flinging or whatever. Now it's changed, it's transformed. It's more like jolts going through my body. And I'm, you know, personally, I'm exploring these little techniques to help channelize it even more so it's less jolting and more fluid. So you can learn how to control the way the energy moves through your body. Because it's Kundalini, it's live energy, it's real stuff. When it starts to awaken, you got to know what you're doing with it. All right, so now we'll talk about, you know, how can you do this? And there's lots of options here. I'm just going to throw out a couple here, but trust me, like if you've got issues financially, I am totally willing to work with you on it. This training is $3,500. It's a lot more than just 300 hours. The first option is if you've got the money and it's easy and comfortable, $500 a month. I am giving a bonus with this, and this bonus is the video of the Kriya Yoga for chakras for you, so that you have something that you can take home and practice and get yourself going with this before we start. So it's a 30-minute bonus video. So if you say, yeah, I know I'm going to do this training, I have $500, then you'll get the bonus right away. Option 2 is, you know, divide the 3,500 into 12 months and come up with a payment plan that way. And option 3 is whatever you want to do it. And you can do so much now, and then you can't do it this time, but you can do it that time. But I prefer to have something regular. So some kind of a payment plan with an upfront deposit. Okay? Yes, I have a bonus for you. And as I said, this can be your daily guide into samadhi by purifying, charging, and energizing your chakras. My promise to you, once you paid for the training If for any reason you're unable to complete this training, be assured that your investment is safe. Why? Because we can just put that money towards something else that you can take here. And I have a ton of programs going on. So if this program is not working for you, then something else can be available for you, and you can take it within the next 12 months. As I said, everything I do leads towards the highest good. So everything to gain. What's the total value of this training? Yes, okay. 200-hour training with a 3,500 value, 35 hours of Laya Yoga classes, 30 hours of Patanjali classes, 30 hours of meditation and satsang classes, non-dual scriptures, 50, 20 hours of chanting, 100, and then you get the 300 with me. All of that is just included in the 3,500. Here's something else that I am tagging on with this, because I believe that when you do one program, you want to become more holistic. So you need a little bit of everything to make yourself a whole being. By taking this training, you can get a lot of other things that I do with a big discount. For instance, the normal 7-day enlightenment intensive, which is $550, you get it for $3. Plus, by taking this training, Karina Ram, she is trained in Ayurvedic work, which is the Indian natural medical system. She's offering classes for a discount for anybody who wants to do this training. Okay, so how do I jump into this new adventure? You have two options. Now, I'm just playing with you here. There's the slow path with your way of practice at the pace you are moving. Learn a few things here and there from books, videos, online trainings. Take your slow time and reach your goal in a few later incarnations. This is just a joke. Or you can take the accelerated path. Take the challenge to immerse yourself into a full program that will boost your energy, energize your body, train your mind, and inspire your soul. This will guide you into the depths of esoteric practices leading to intense and direct absorption states of unity consciousness. This is the fast track to enlightenment. There are many paths to enlightenment. Some are slow and some are fast, but I tell you, Kriya Yoga, if you want to look it up, there is so much to say about this. Kriya Yoga, Laya Yoga. This is fast because it's talking about energy, and you can access and work with this energy in your body. It's very physical. So I invite you to join me in this training. Next steps. If you're ready to sign up now and receive the webinar bonus, you can send the 500 and we'll be sending you an email about that. If you want to discuss payment plans, you just talk to me about it. If you need to review the program, I'll send you a link so that you can listen to this again if you want, or you can just talk to me about it.
You can contact me at thelotuscenter.ca or through email, mirandasquires@thelotuscenter.ca. Contact me through phone, 739-4429, or on Facebook, The Lotus Center. See you soon.